Hello, Nuno. Thank you very much for taking time out of your day to join me here today for this interview. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, man. Glad to be here. Actually, it's an honor to be here. And let's see what this call has reserved for me.
All right. So, the reason I wanted to invite you on is because I've seen your consistent wins in the crypto wins channel. I believe you do scalping, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah. So, that would be something I'd like to go into in the future. For now, let's begin with how was your life like before joining the real world?
For joining, so I was actually at university in England before. Just that usual university student life. I would just go to uni, get back home, just play video games, or I used to do a part time on the bar, just trying to get by, just really unaware of things, basically like mind fogged, very low mental clarity, no self-awareness, basically. Yeah, just running through the world mindless of what's going on behind, trusting everything, lack of critical thinking. Yeah, it was not good, not good at all. Now that I look back at it, it was not a good way to live, and I'm glad I could stop in time and become more self-aware and more energetic in these past couple of months.
And how did you find out about the real world?
So I had a family member that introduced it to me, and this was like a week before my last uni year. So I figured that I had plenty of time before. I had a job lined up and everything, but I still I had a good 2 to 3 weeks without doing anything. And he actually offered me the first few months, so I figured, why not? Like, why not? It's free. Literally have nothing to lose. So yeah, I was up for the challenge, and yeah, he paid me for the first few months, and I joined and started learning.
All right, that's interesting. That's the first time you're the first one who's hasn't joined because they saw Tate on TikTok or some kind of social media. So that's interesting. I'll want to ask about your perspective on Tate then again as we go on through this interview because yeah, usually it's because people are influenced by Tate so much they resonate with his message, so they give the real world a try. But in your case, you got it for free. So actually, yeah, how were those first few months? Why did you decide to stick around?
Well, I mean, the community was great. The material was great. I started. It's interesting because the timeline is a bit switched up. I knew I started watching Tate after I joined, not
Mhm.
before, and it's just it was instantly I resonated with his message, and I think I binged watched every podcast till that date in like a week or so because I just find it so interesting. For me, especially, it was that awakening call that I needed, and I was smart enough to follow his message, to put in the work and just trying to learn, make sure in the real world I asked, relevant questions so professors wouldn't be bothered with just simple questions like thoughts on Bitcoin and everything. So I would actually be a good student and try to ask things related to the lessons that they gave us, and they were pretty helpful. They this I remember reading this. I think it was Adam that said that if you ask lazy questions, you get lazy answers. And that stick around with me. So the community was great. The professors were there to help. Then I knew Tate, and it inspired me. So that was made me stick around. The feeling of support, encouragement, and you actually feel that you're learning something. It's I don't really know how to explain it, but you feel that you're learning something, and that's going to have an impact. So yeah, I mean, not only for crypto, but asking good questions, getting good answers, like it's not about just that material in itself. You get other things. I remember watching Michael's lives, and he would to go a bit off the trading and talking about other stuff, and you learn a lot just by that. So yeah, that was what made me stick around. Community, encouragement, and the professors being helpful. You actually feel that you're learning something. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. And why did you choose crypto? Why did you choose the crypto campus, that is, instead of any of the other options?
Well, previously, I liked technology. Um, and previously, I had just a bit of Bitcoin and a bit of Ethereum before, just bought, and I used to have some shitty altcoins before too. Um, and I had zero knowledge on that. I thought I had a good basis just by watching YouTube and these influencers shilling all these coins and everything. So I think that stocks wasn't really my thing. E-commerce not didn't really caught my attention. Then freelancing was okay because I figured I could start a career on that. But crypto just caught my attention. It was the first campus that I went through and started to engage more in the community and everything.
Mhm.
And yeah, just stick with that. I mean, just Web3, Bitcoin, everything just fascinated me at the time, which I later on ended up diverging for and just went for trading and started watching Michael's lessons and everything. So yeah, I think the initial call was because technology, and for me, it's the future. So yeah, it
Right.
was basically that.
And is there any more you'd have to say about the difference in the material you get in the real world compared to outside of it on the internet?
Yeah, it's really hard because once you paid for a service like the real world, you know that you're getting useful information. A lot of people say that you can get that for free, and yes, you can get a bit of it for free, but the amount of experience you have, professors, you have people that lost money um, before, they are telling you that do not do this, do not follow influencers, do not short just because you think the price is too high, do not do this. They have experience. You know that information is legit. You can't just Google that and come up with the first Google search and just go there and assume that's the correct answer. No, you will get wrecked, and that's a fact. So you're essentially paying to learn from their experiences that they lost, hundreds of thousands of dollars, and just for a small price. I mean, why not? What do you have to lose to do that? It's,
Mhm. And I don't think I've asked, how long have you been in the real world?
so I've been for around 6 to 7 months now. Um, yeah, 6, 7 months, and it's been life changing. These 6 to 7 months, it's just been life changing. It keeps on giving and giving and giving.
So yeah, you did mention before joining that very low mental clarity, lack of physical activity, a lot of points you gave. Why did that all change after you joined the real world?
It's, the community, like everyone in there is pushing you to. Even the crypto nerds, like they call us, they're pushing you to go to the gym. They're pushing you to do exercise. They're pushing you to do conquer things outside of just sat around on the computer every day. The professors are pushing you to go to the gym. We have challenges inside the crypto campus where we have small legions and we compete with each other to see who do the most push-ups. So it's not just about that, but once you start to exercise physically and actually eat better, eat healthy, and it's the combination of all these things that make you feel better and have more mental clarity. Your decisions all of a sudden just seem to be a lot better, and you just even just negative stuff, so you just ignore bullshit. And yeah, it's hard to put into words, but it's not just go to the gym. It's not about just going there, but how you feel after, how your body looks, your self-confidence goes up. You can talk to people better. You can approach people on the street better. Once you start feeling healthy, you get the mental clarity, and mental clarity boosts your confidence too, because now you know how you talk to people. You're more self-aware. You know what you did wrong. You can correct that in the future. So it's not just about trading or being in crypto and everything. We push you to do those things after.
So are you saying for the physical exercise aspect, did you start after joining the real world then or before?
I started on the same week. Same week I joined.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I saw everyone just going there and just yeah. I figured that why not? Why? I mean, it's good for me. And as I said, the community is great. Everyone's pushing you to do more things, to conquer more and everything. So yeah, yeah, I mean, it's great, man.
And for the material you learn, how much, let's start with how much time were you putting into it per day? Let's say when you started off, has it evolved over time? How fast did it take you to start trading for yourself? Like, go into, yeah, those type of things.
So I think it took like a month or so before I watched everything. A lot of new people come in and just watch the first few lessons and just go into trading. Um, I took that month because I didn't feel prepared to go trading, just that, because they really push you. They really want to teach you the psychology in crypto, that people are out there to get you. Like big players, they have more data than you. They know where your stop losses are, and they're gonna hunt them because that's how they make their money. It's a zero sum game. You cannot, and this was a good mental shift for me. You can not just buy a coin into the idea that it will just go up, because once it goes up, someone's selling. For every buyer, there must be a seller. It's not, the money just doesn't print out of thin air. You know, they teach you a lot, and they bang on that a lot of times, especially with new people. And it was a hard concept to get for me at first, because every trade that I took, it seemed to get hunted. Every trade that I started to took at the beginning, and this was a month after. This was a month after I went through the materials. For the first 2 weeks, every trade that I was putting, like half, not even half, I would say 25% of them was the wins, and then the rest of it was just getting wrecked and just keep getting hunted. And so after that, a month and 2 weeks after that, I started trading. I stopped trading and went back, reviewed the lessons again, watched them, the scalping lessons all again, make sure I understood that. And after that, I was just things just kept getting better. So I would say a month learning, around 2 weeks of experience after that, and then 3 weeks before, 3 weeks after those 2 weeks, actually, I reviewed everything, reviewed my notes, and asked more questions to the professors, and they really were really helpful. And then it was when I started to see more consistency. It was still not as good as now, obviously, but yeah, I started to see more wins, and you kind of feel that you get the grip of it. You kind of have that aha moment. So
And how much do you think the knowledge you've learned from the real world will continue to impact your life? And what do you see for yourself in the next few years? How do you see your life?
knowledge is it's I would say timeless. Um, you can grab the concepts that they teach you and apply it to everything in your life. You can, if you have discipline. I would study for on the first few days, I would study for 3 to 4 hours, and then just my mindset back then was not really the same as now, but I would study for 3 to 4 hours, go to the gym, and then just do fuck all for the rest of the day. Um, then I started on the other job that I had lined up. And I said to myself, it's not going to be, I'm not just going to do my regular 9 to 5, then just study for an hour or two and hit the gym. Then don't study for that hour and then hit the gym. I'm not just going to do that. I need to study. I need to outperform these other people. So this again comes from the mindset that there are people out there that want to, that it's a zero sum game if you apply it to everything. So while you're sitting home without doing anything, there's other people there studying. There's other people there going out to the gym. And if I think about it, there's other people in there studying trading. They will outperform me because they had put much more time in that mm, as opposed to me. So it's not, you can apply that concept to everything. So being consistent at the gym, being consistent at studying, being consistent at trading, it affects your whole life once you start to apply that to everything. Once you start being um, more strict with yourself, I would say. And these small wins that you keep getting, it keeps build and build and build, and eventually a big win comes, um, such as on the personal side or just in trading or anywhere really. You can apply these concepts from anywhere in life. I would say that I see myself, at least for the next 3 to 4 months, I will be joining the war room, that's for sure. That's a thing. Uh, that's a goal that I've set to myself that I cannot fail. I need it's that goal, I have to do that, and hopefully within the war room, just keep leveling, keep applying the same concepts that I learned, so that I can learn more with the other people, and make more money, be more social, make more connections, just overall improve in all aspects of my life.
Interesting. So you want to join the war room. That's, I'm guessing, influenced also quite heavily because of Tate, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
And you've said how much of an impact Tate had on you. Do you think it resonated with you strongly because of your situation, or would you have more to add to that as well?
It depends. At the time, I didn't know my situation was as bad as that. You know, um, it was. I can't really explain. Just awakening call, I would say, because I knew after deep down, I knew that after university, you just don't get a job and work for the rest of your life. Like, as soon as I ended and as soon as I got the job, I was like, this can't be it. This for me was too easy. This can't just be it. And I was looking for the next thing. And then I had that offering to join the real world. And I said, why not? This might be the next thing, which ended up being. But if it wasn't, I would still be looking for the next thing. Like,
Mhm.
there has to be more to life than just working and sitting at home. There has to be more to that, you know? And I think that it's more like his mindset of grinding and taking on challenges and everything that resonated more to me, conquering and just, changing was really awakening call for me. After I joined the real world and then start watching tape videos, yeah, awakening call.
Yeah. From the sound of it, it gave you a purpose.
Yeah,
That's great.
exactly. A purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had no purpose, actually. No purpose. It's just mindlessly going through life.
Mhm. And going back to inside the real world, how has the Winds channel affected you?
Well, at the beginning, I saw all these guys. This is one thing that I forgot to mention, is that the wins channel is very important. You see all these people winning, even when you're going through a losing streak. you know that there are other people winning. You know that it's possible. You know that there are other people out there with the same material that they gave it to you that can utilize that to win and get wins. So sometimes, even if you feel down, even if you feel that it's not going your way, I would say that going through the wins channel and see everyone winning and see a lot of people posting these big wins and making money, that encourages you. You know, depending on the type of person you are, obviously, but I doubt that the negative type of person lasts that long in the real world because their mindset will get shifted to a more positive mindset.
Hmm. And I'd say this is a good transition to Tate talks about this. I'm sure you've had heard it many times before as well. You're the average of the five people you spend the most time with. So after having joined the real world, what would you have to say about that quote? Have you noticed that being true in your case?
Yeah, 100%. I started hanging out less with some of my old friends. I still talk to them. I still hang out with them once in a while, but not as much as before. Maybe once, two times a month. And I started to surround myself with more, people that had the same drive as me, people that wanted to conquer, people that were ahead of me, so that I could learn from them. And that family member that introduced me to the real world, I started talking with him more. There was another friend of mine that I didn't used to talk as much. We now talk basically daily, and our conversations are mostly just mindset, money, crypto, and just conquering. We go to the gym together. We go to the boxing classes together. We spar. We do everything. And once you have someone that drives you to do that. So before they used to call me, oh, come on, let's play some video games. Let's chill, let's hang out. And I would go there and just hang out and chill or play video games or just sit at the computer all day. Now I have this other friend that, oh, are we still going to the gym tomorrow? Of course, man. Of course we're going to the gym tomorrow. We have this accountability aspect to it. And a lot of the times, and this happened to him as well, we don't feel like going, but because the other guy's going, that pushes you to go, oh shit, I mean, he's going, I'm not gonna be the asshole that sits at home and does nothing at all. And once you surround yourself with people like that, with people that put in the work, that pushes you to go further and just advises you in general in life that's the biggest thing ever. So that quote is very much true, and it's everyone should start evaluating the people that they are surrounding. I'm not saying to just ditch your old friends and start calling them brokies, peasants, poors, and everything. I mean, after all, there's some people cannot be saved, and they don't want to be saved. They're happy with just working that 9 to 5, and there has to be people like that in order to be people like me or like you or like you know just there has to be people like that. There has to be people working those 9 to 5 jobs. And if they I try to push them to this side because I feel so much better. It's unexplainable. I try to push them to this side, but they just don't want. And if it's their choice at the end of the day, and you have to respect that.
And how old are you, Nuno?
I'm
Sorry, I didn't ask
21.
before.
Yeah, 21,
21.
21 years
Wow.
old.
All this knowledge in a 21-year-old. Very nice. So going back to the family member who introduced you to the real world, are you still in touch with him? And how much of an impact has he had on your life? Maybe if you're no longer in touch than you before.
Yeah, I mean, I still get in touch with him almost every day now.
Hmm.
After all, he was the one that pushed me to the real
Right.
world, and I'm very grateful for that. Um, the impact was because he pushed me to the real world, and he was always the kind of person that he tells you, like, if you're fucking up, he'll tell you you're fucking up. No, no small talk, not smooth talk, not trying to he doesn't, if you're fucking up, he's going to say, you're fucking up. You should not be doing this. I remember once, well, when I joined university, once I told him, he was like, what the fuck are you doing? That's going to be the worst mistake of your life. And at the time, as I said before joining and everything, I was just used to play video games, go to school, get back home. Video games, go to school, get back home. Maybe I had a bike, ride a bike, hang out with some friends and everything. And even before I joined, he would say to me that that's not really a good way to live. That's not really how you should do it. But I kept ignoring it because everyone else around me kept doing that. So he's a very frontal guy. He tells you, not frontal. He has a lot of tough love, I would say. He tells you shit like back to the university story. And I remember arguing with him, and he just ended up like giving up and just say, yeah, okay, we'll talk in 3 years and see how you feel about that. And he ended up being right. So,
Mhm.
I mean, university, I wouldn't say my case was as bad, but if you're going for something general, like they say this a lot, like business, like your teacher, your professor doesn't even drive a Lamborghini or anything. What's there for him to teach you about business, about anything? So if you're going for a general course, just yeah, I mean, he opened my eyes in that perspective, but it took me 3 years to
Mhm.
to notice that. He's a very frontal guy. He tells you when you're fucking up, when you're not fucking up, what what you should do, what you should not do in his eyes, and he always has very good intentions, even if that means um saying that you're fucking up, even that means being frontal with you or just saying anything that you might not like, he's going to say it. And I learned that a lot. I'm more of a not as frontal guy now, but as before I would be afraid of telling someone that I would disagree with some viewpoints or some conversation and everything. And not only he taught me that, but he also taught me when to not say that. If someone doesn't, like I said before, if someone doesn't want to be saved, just leave them. There's no point wasting your energy and time in trying to save everyone else. Save yourself first. So yeah, really high impact in my life.
Very nice. Great to hear. For the university thing, for people debating whether to go university or continue with university or join the real world, how long do you think it would take someone who puts in the time to start making money from the real world? And what would be the scalability in that from your eyes?
My perspective is that if you join the real world and you don't have that much money saved or that much money to invest, and I'm saying like 10K or so, just go through the cash flow campus. I'm sure if you put in the work, if you put in the hours, if you listen to the professors, if you ask them the questions, if you do everything as they say, there's absolutely no way that you won't make at the very least, the money back that you paid for the first month. And scalability wise, they just don't teach you. It's ongoing support. They just don't teach you do this and then they just leave you. If you're having let's say the copywriting campus, if you're having a problem scaling more clients and scaling the work, the professor will teach you. The professor will tell you, maybe ditch this one, try to get a client that pays you more. I'm not really a copywriting guy, but he'll tell you something. Yeah, you can scale that. And if you're at the point where you feel that the real world maybe is not enough, I doubt that's gonna be a case for most, but it's at least you're at that point. If you're at university, you're just, I don't know, man, it's just studying. You're not seeing great results. You're having debt to pay later on. You're just digging the hole deeper, and you have the real world on the other side trying to pull you out of that hole and giving you guidance, earning money and everything. So I would say the first month has to be enough for you to make that cash flow. If you put in the work, if you put in the hours, that has to be the months. I mean, I had students ask me questions in the crypto campus. I have $1,000 to invest in. What should I do? And I just said, go to the cash flow campus. Like $1,000 in crypto, if you 10x that, you're going to have 10K. If you 10x, imagine if you 10x 100K, you'll have a million. It doesn't really work like they think. They cannot just put 1K and expect to get $1 million out of 1K. So they need the cash flow first. And that student went back to me a month later with a client that paid him $500 for an
Mhm.
email listing and said thank you, and that was really the way. So this was a few months ago. I haven't talked to him since because I've been very busy with other things. But I'm sure he's doing all right. I'm sure he's doing. If he had the ability to get that client the first month and putting the work, and he was a university student as well, so he was doing university and the real world. It's very much possible, and you'll gain money. You'll gain more money doing the real world in university. I'm sure of it because it gets you experience. You go into calls for the copywriting campus, or even the freelancing campus. You go into calls, you go into clients, you learn how to talk, you learn how to sell your product, you learn how to do all of these things. And while there's hundreds of thousands of people at university just sitting there hearing some teacher that doesn't barely has any experience in sales or marketing or just business in general, and they'll just giving theory and you cannot apply that. So I would say if you're considering joining a university, don't join the university because it's just debt. You're just getting debt to you, and you have to pay that sooner or later. You will have to pay that. If you're at university now and you're towards the end of it, you might as well finish it. You'll have debt anyways, but I recommend you join the real world so you can pay that debt as soon as possible, or just they teach you other things like how I'm gonna explain this. If that debt is worth paying now, so opportunity cost, if it's worth paying now, all of it, or if in your mind you can see yourself doing more, having more money in a year or two, and just keep holding the bare minimum and just pay that. They teach you that kind of stuff too. So I would say for the student that is going through the university, might as well finish it. If you're second or third year, might as well finish it and just do the real world outside. And then if you see that if you're at a point where your copywriting clients are paying you way more and there's no point in you being university, then ditch that. For the people that have finished, just join, man. It's the same situation as the person that has not joined yet and has not been at university. Just join, just try the campus. It's $50 a month. It's not that expensive, and for the value that you get, it's priceless, man.
I'm very happy to end it there. That was very insightful, Thank you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your
Thank you,
knowledge.
man.
Hard to believe you're 21 years old, but I guess that's what happens when you hang around the
Yeah,
people that are in the real world. Yeah.
yeah, and you have to be willing to listen too. You have to join the real world with the mindset that you're there to learn. You're not there to teach anyone. You're there to learn. You have open-minded, just learn. Maybe raise some questions, maybe raise why is it like this and not like that, but just be mindful that you're there to learn and not to tell the professors how to do their job.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to doing a follow-up interview in half a year, maybe less, to see how things have progressed for you. I'm sure you'll
Yeah,
be
man.
doing very well.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Hopefully. I mean, I'm sure of it. If I was able to do a 180 turn in my life in 6 months, I can't wait to see what next year has to
Right,
bring, man.
right. Great. Well, thank you. I'll leave you be. All the best and till next time.
Right. Thank you, man.
Bye.
See you next time.